All right. By a show of fingers, who heard the news that someone attempted to assassinate former President Trump on July 13th? You all heard that news. In a word or a sentence, what was your first reaction upon hearing the news that Trump had been shot? Everybody remember what their first reaction was? Okay. June, what was yours?
What the hell just happened?
Got it. Jason?
Disbelief.
Crystal?
I was horrified. I don't think anybody needs to be shot. Just the violence.
Teresa?
How did they get in there with a gun?
Chris?
Wow.
Audra?
I actually thought that it was like a farce, like it was an inaccurate statement that I had read or heard. I thought that confusion had happened.
Got it. And John?
I was shocked.
By a show of fingers, after witnessing everything that has unfolded over the past 10 days, has anyone's view of Trump changed at all since he was shot? Wait, boy, for 1 second. I got 4 of you. June, Jason, 5 of you. Teresa, so everybody except Crystal and John. Okay, 5 of you. Very quickly, how did your view change, June?
He became more arrogant.
Okay.
He should have been more humble.
Jason?
I was like kind of impressed by his like bravery, and also just like impressed by his ability to rally people to him in kind of that moment where like it seemed uncertain, like if there was more that was going to happen to him. So just like his like kind of like the just like that image that was captured that showed him like around that American flag, it was just like an incredible image, and kind of I think yeah, just spoke well of him.
Got it. Teresa?
When he stood up after being shot and with the fight, it was like, I'm a strong individual. I can, we can rise above this. Then he started his speech at the convention, and he was kind of humble and a little more mellow. And then at the end, he went back to his old ways, and it made me mad.
Okay. Got it. Chris, how'd your view of him change?
At first it was it made him a little more personable, and then it became Trump again, where he had like that phone call with RFK where he started talking about how the bullet was how it felt and all of that, and you started seeing him become Trump again. So it was like he went from being personable to like going right back to the egotistical person.
Got it. Audra?
To me, I saw even more of his resilience come through. He, again, to pop right back up after being shot, even, any type of shooting is significant. So to pop right back up, to me, that did reinforce and expand my thoughts on his resiliency.
Okay, got it. So Thomas Matthew Crooks was the shooter who attempted to take Trump's life. Besides Crooks, is there anyone else you blame for the attempted assassination?
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, who do you blame?
The Secret Service and all the police, they were seeing this guy. They documented that they saw this guy. They saw him up on the roof. Why wasn't anybody stopped? How did he get to be where he was? People saw him up there, saw him go up there. People were telling, the bystanders, the people watching Trump were yelling, saying, "There's a guy up on the roof. There's a guy up on the roof," and it was being ignored.
Okay,
I don't understand that.
So let me rephrase my question.
Okay.
So I meant to ask, are there, so obviously Crooks was the shooter who attempted to take Trump's life. What I wanted to ask was, are there any sort of underlying societal causes that made this shooting more likely? Clearly, there were problems with the Secret Service. That has been established. I'm asking, answer it the way I just re-asked it.
Got it. From my understanding, he was bullied. He was not mentally stable. And he got the gun from his father. I'm not understanding that whole dynamic.
Okay.
I just don't understand if he was that troubled, why would you get your kid a gun?
Okay. Other forces, any other underlying societal causes that made the shooting more likely? I'll take that as a no. By a show of fingers, who thinks the temperature needs to be turned down when it comes to the two major political parties opposing each other? Wow, all 7 of you. I didn't even finish asking the question. By a show of fingers, who heard the news that someone attempted to assassinate former President Trump on July 13th? All 7 of you heard that news, just wanted to confirm it. In a word or a sentence, what was your first reaction upon hearing the news that Trump had been shot? I'm going to call on each of you. I want to hear what your first reaction was when you heard the news. Everybody remember what it was? Okay. Zach, what was yours?
This is going to boost Trump's numbers.
Barbara?
Just shock.
Dale?
Sadness.
Ronnie?
Shock.
Jennifer?
Security failure.
Melody?
I was shocked.
Tiara?
I was like, what?
Okay. By a show of fingers, after witnessing everything that has unfolded over the past 10 days, has anyone's view of Trump changed at all since he was shot? Show of fingers. Got Dale and Barbara. And Ronnie, 3 of you. Okay, hang on one quick second. Okay. Ronnie, what changed for you?
I listened to the entire Republican convention every night, and I heard the speeches. And then Trump said he tore up his original speech, which was his normal kind of right at you type, and came back with a unity speech. And he wasn't going to use Joe Biden's name. He wasn't going to call him in names anymore. And then my respect for him went way up. But that little talk, what he said lasted about 3 days. And now he's back to his old self. So I don't know what to make of his unity speech.
Okay. But did your view of Trump change 10 days out? Do you see him any differently than you did 10 days ago?
I did right after the convention. And now I kind of wondered, wait a minute, it appears he's going back to the way he was.
Got it. Okay, thank you. Who else changed? Barbara? How did it change? And we muted you because we're hearing some humming noise. I'm sorry. You just unmute. Barbara, if you could unmute.
Yeah, we got a storm going on.
I'm sorry, you
Empathy
muted.
for him now.
I'm sorry, try, do it again. Say it again.
I have more empathy for him now.
Okay. And who else is the third person who had a different view? Dale? Go ahead. Dale, we muted you also. I'm sorry.
I think he was a little more vulnerable, and he had a more human side to him.
Okay. Do you feel that way now 10 days out?
I do. I think he's probably changed, but he's changing back.
Okay. Got it. All right. So Thomas Matthew Crooks was the shooter who attempted to take Trump's life. Besides Crooks, is there anyone else that you blame for the attempted assassination? And I want, before you answer this question, I want to clarify what I mean by that. It's obvious the Secret Service had failings. I'm not talking about who prevented the assassination or could have prevented the assassination. I'm talking about, are there any underlying societal causes that made this shooting more likely? That's what I'm actually asking. Anybody have a feeling that besides the shooter himself, there were other societal causes that were partially to blame for this attempted assassination? Barbara?
Maybe just the access to how easy it is to get a gun.
Okay. Ronnie?
I think the media has it up. They've been harping on Trump's for nearly 4 years now, doing everything they can to make him look bad or drum up stuff. And people believe that. And that's going to set off a trigger in somebody that's not stable.
Okay. Jennifer?
I do have concerns that we're the best, most seasoned Secret Service agents utilized. I'm not criticizing Secret Service agents. I'm saying perhaps some hiring practices in general as a country, maybe not always hiring the best people, but trying so hard to be equitable across genders and so forth that, I don't know. I think there was a failure there that may be partially because of a societal change.
Got it. Thank you. And by a show of fingers, who thinks the temperature needs to be turned down when it comes to the two major parties opposing each other? The temperature needs to be turned down when it comes to the two major parties opposing each other. 5 of you feel that way. Tara, you don't feel like the parties need to have the temperature turned down?
I'm kind of unsure exactly to what you mean, like I mean, that's how it goes, right? That's how you win the race. They have to compete and debate and go back and forth in order for somebody to choose who they want to choose. So I don't think they're gonna turn it down. If anything, they might turn it up.
Okay. But do you want to see it turned up further?
No, I just wanted to, I mean, it doesn't matter to me really. It's not, that's what they do, like I said. I don't want them to turn it up further as to where it's gonna escalate into any more riots or anything, more crazy like that.
Okay.
But I just think they should stay on point.
All right. Melody, you don't think the temperature needs to be turned down?
No, I agree with Tara and the fact that, that's what they do.